Here is the story of changing global image of India, told through one woman's journey. Not through any statistics, not through any government report, but through real life moments. Moments filled with pride, struggle, and transformation. Welcome to TimesXP. It's me, Three. And the woman telling this powerful story is none other than Sudha Murty. Let's talk about what is there. Well, inside India's parliament, a personal story turned into a national message. While speaking in the Rajya Sabha during discussions on India's latest budget, Sudha Murty didn't just talk numbers this time. She spoke emotions, she spoke memories, she spoke about how the world once looked at India and how that view has drastically changed. And her story begins nearly half a century ago. Back in 1979, a young Indian woman arrives in the United States. It was her first visit to the United States, excited, curiosity, dreams. But what she experienced inside shocked her deeply. At immigration, officials didn't welcome her warmly, they questioned her country. They doubted India's progress and they treated her with cold disbelief. She later described the moment as humiliating, heartbreaking. Now, that single experience stayed with her forever. Then came her husband's word that changed everything for her. Back home, she shared the experience with her husband, N.R. Narayan Murthy. The message he gave, it was quite simple yet very powerful. Respect cannot be demanded. Respect must be earned through hard work, through contribution, through nation building. And that moment became her silent promise to give everything they could to India's progress. Together, they helped build one of India's biggest technology success story, Infosys. Fast forward 4 decades later, the same country, a completely different experience. When Sudha Murty visited America again, she was stunned. This time, immigration officers smiled. They praised India's growth. They called Indians hardworking, innovative, and unstoppable. She said the contrast felt surreal for her. From doubts to admiration, from suspicion to respect. Here is rise of India's tech power, ladies and gentlemen. Officials aboard, they were talking about Indian startups, Indian engineers, Indian entrepreneurs shaping global industries today. They even compared Bengaluru with Silicon Valley, the global capital of technology, and that comparison, once unimaginable, is now a reality. India's soft power is also winning hearts, by the way. Sudha Murty highlighted another fascinating shift. Indian food chain, Indian businesses, Indian culture. They are spreading across the world, not just the US this time. She noted how thousands of foreigners now travel to India, not just for tourism, but for affordable, high-quality healthcare and dental treatment. India is no longer just a developing country in global eyes. It is becoming a global destination. And yes, there is leadership factor also, without taking names though. Sudha Murty credited India's steady transformation to strong politics and long-term governance since the last 15 years. While she did not mention him directly, her remarks clearly hinted at leadership during the era of Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. She emphasized one key point here: real change takes time, but consistent progress reshapes the global perception. In fact, another moment, this time in Britain, and it is almost unbelievable. During a visit to the United Kingdom also, immigration officers, they were kind of puzzled when she listed her address as 10 Downing Street. Well, they found it hard to believe that this humble elderly woman could be related to then Prime Minister Rishi Sunak. Well, the incident, she said, was both surprising and symbolic. It showed how Indians are now present at the highest level of global leadership. Well, from personal story to national policy, ladies and gentlemen, Sudha Murty also spoke strongly in support of several new government initiatives. She praised plans to build better infrastructure across India. She welcomed proposal for women's hostels in every single district. She highlighted new marketplaces designed to support women entrepreneurs as well. In fact, according to her, empowering women is not just social reform here, it is economic reform. Culture as diplomacy, India's quite global strategy. Yes, that's our strategy. She also called for expanding cultural projects like Project Mosul, The aim? That is to reconnect nations across the Indian Ocean through shared history, trade routes, and cultural heritage. Because sometimes culture can build bridges where politics cannot. So here's her final word, which is simple yet very powerful. India's journey is not overnight success. It is decades of hard work, sacrifice, innovation, and resilience. From being questioned at foreign airports to being celebrated across global platforms, India's story, she said, is still being written, and the world is finally watching us.